Hi everyone, welcome to the first episode of Programmers Unfiltered. Today we have Kunika Malhotra from Ludhiana, who is a Walmart SD, and she is here to share her journey from a tier 3 college to how she cracked Walmart. And she is an influencer now as well and has more than 50k followers on LinkedIn and Instagram and multiple other channels combined. So she is here today with us to share her journey on how she cracked interviews of multiple companies, including Walmart. What has her journey been like? What was her Walmart experience? She will also share some useful tips and tricks with you, which you can apply in your life to achieve the same results. So, hi, welcome, Kanika. Welcome to the channel.
Hi everyone, this is Kunika Malhotra and I'm from Ludhiana, Punjab, and I've graduated from Guru Nanak Dev Engineering College, Computer Science graduate. I'm a 2021 CS graduate. So my journey into tech started by applying through various internships, getting experience from doing some internships as a developer, as a technical writer, as a subject matter expert, and then landing into a dream company of mine, that is Walmart, as a software developer. I've worked for around 2 years as a backend developer there, and along with that, I have been a mentor also, and I have been serving a community of 50k plus followers over LinkedIn. So it's had been an amazing journey till now, and looking forward for the same.
So, Konika, when did you graduate?
I graduated in 2021.
Okay, and this was in BTech Computer Science?
Yes.
Okay, got it. And so, from tier 3 college, right? Many people say, especially now that recession is going on, that in tier 3 colleges, placement scenarios are not really good, right? Campus placement. So, what were
Yeah.
the companies that visited your campus during that time?
Yeah, so even that time there was a corona thing which was going on, and many of our lives were impacted. Even mine also, in terms of family and all. From a middle class family, so in that time also, I was from a tier 3 college. So very few companies were visiting, like just service based like TCS and all, and I got placed into TCS initially, but the package, everything which TCS offered was not that much sufficient as per the financial crisis which we were facing too. So and I started applying over the off campus things. My friends, everyone used to say, okay, you are aiming for really very high, but from a tier college you won't be able to get that high companies. But I was always very positive. I was a high thinker, and I just believe and manifested, okay, once I have to be in that big firm. And by applying, it took 3-4 months, but it and I really did it, and I landed into Walmart.
Okay, that is good to hear. So, what was the package that TCS was offering at that time?
So it was a TCS Ninja, and they were offering around 3.36 LPA.
Hmm.
So that was the minimum package that they were offering there.
Okay, got it. That is actually quite low, and
Yes.
I'm sure that many people, if they study a little bit, they can get something more than that. In
Yep.
fact, I remember that even 10 to 12 years back, TCS was offering still the same packages. What TCS, and not just TCS, other companies as well, Tech Mahindra and other service-based companies. So,
Yes.
how did you apply off campus? Because one thing that people face is that in off campus placements, people face a lot of rejections, right? You keep on
Yeah.
applying to LinkedIn, you keep on applying to multiple places, but you don't get any reply from people, right? So, how did you face that thing? And were you also like in that same situation? Did you used to get replies, or did you also face this situation?
So, majorly things which we students do is just going and applying on the link directly. So even I used to do that, and I used to also not getting replies also, and I was also facing thousands of rejections to that. But then I started like approaching to the people who were working in that, to the employees, to the HRs and all. I started cold emailing also, like getting the mails and started mailing them, and from there actually I started getting replies also. Previously I also get used to get a lot of rejections, and I used to message a lot of people. So 5 to 10 people per company, because out of that also few people just see and ignore them and they don't reply over the messages. When I used to get a referral of one or two company, I used to sit for interviews, gain some experience. And even though I faced initially rejections, but I gained experience, like how tech interviews goes on and all. And and once I got to know about, okay, some companies hires, diversity hiring was also there. It was a diversity hiring challenge, which happens on Unstop platform for only for girls. So it's a codehers contest for all the girls out there. So Walmart keeps on hiring all across the year in the starting of the year. So it was on Unstop platform coders contest, from where I got to know about this, and I just registered for the same. And there were typical rounds were there, like a coding assessment round was there, a data structure MCQ round was there. Two rounds were there, and once you clear that two rounds, then only you are eligible for an interview call. So and I've cleared both the rounds, and then the interview call happened. So it was a 1 day drive. In 1 day only all the interview rounds were completed. So it started with a technical interview in which all the aspects of computer fundamentals, since I was a fresher, it was my first company, so all the fundamentals were asked, computer fundamentals like operating system, oops concepts and all. And then followed by the next technical round, which was mainly on coding round. So the questions which were asked were easy to medium level, they were not that high hard levels, and they were mainly focusing on our basic fundamentals and on a logic, how we are building on that. And then after these two rounds, I got a call from the HR recruiter. Okay, we want to do your HR round. But in HR also, the conversation with was with director of that company, and he also have given a coding question in that round. So we should never underestimate the HR rounds, because nowadays they are also like type of eliminations. So they mainly focus on the behavioral questions, and a coding question also was given. So after that, basic normal discussion was there on the background, and the director told me that we would like to offer you for a Chennai location. Now, being from a north, going to Chennai, it was a pretty hard, like everything. But since I had such a great offer from such a great company, I said yes, and there from I started working with Walmart.
So right now you are based out of Chennai office.
Yes, that was based on Chennai office. Yeah.
Got it. That is so great to hear. Apart from this, so you said that you should never underestimate HR rounds, right? And
Yes.
I totally agree with that. I have seen multiple cases where people, even though they were, really strong technically, both,
Yeah.
and it applies to both, boys and girls both. Even if you
Mhm.
are strong technically, but still, if let's say you mess up your behavioral rounds or HR rounds, right, then
Yes.
it's a big problem and you will not get selected in the company, in any company, right? So these are very
Yes.
important rounds. And for many companies, I have also seen that uh, there is a separate HR round, like you were mentioning, for Walmart. But some companies keep on asking these type of questions in coding rounds also. Like they'll ask one or two
Yes.
questions. So
Yes.
we should be careful about that, and we should prepare well for HR rounds. So, Konika, what type of questions were asked in your HR round?
So mainly the behavioral questions were asked, like how you deal with the pressurized situation. Like so, if you come to our company, there is some a task which is given to you on high priority, and then there is a production also. You need to look and like what priority you will give to any of them. So I answered like, okay, the production issue is on high priority over another prioritized task, which needs there is a deadline for that also. So in that way I answered that. And another thing which I would like to add in this is the communication also matters. So I've
Mhm.
seen many people who are they communicate in other languages, they're not strictly communicating English. So that also matters in all. So they probably judge you as a person, like your way of talking and everything, they judge accordingly. So you should be good in speaking in English also, and try to converse in English only, rather than switching to other languages.
Yeah, that's a really important point. And even though at workplace we might use, a mix of Hindi, English, or some other languages as well, but interviews are strictly in English, and we should try to use that as well. So, Konika, what language did you use for your interviews? Like, I mean, programming language.
I used to solve in C++, so I was there.
Okay. So would you recommend, let's say somebody is in your situation, they are in fourth year or third year and they're looking for internships, or they are looking for a final offer, like full-time opportunity. Would you still recommend them C++ plus plus, or would you recommend them some other language, maybe like Java, Python? Because I see that, in comment section also, and a lot of people reach out to me that which language we should follow. So what's your take on that?
I'll say like because I have seen many of my mentees also they have issues like Java data structure is quite difficult. I'll say go for C++ for only interviews and all. And once you have a takeover C++, even if you get a role, because I also got a role as a Java backend developer. So once you get a role, then there is nothing much of a difference, just a syntax and a bit difference between languages. But if you are good in one language, you can easily switch into another language. So you can go for C++ for the interviews perspective, and after that, like definitely you can switch to any other language also if you're well versed in one language.
Got it. Got it. So, coming to your current role in Walmart, right? So you said you're a Java backend developer. So what is the tech stack that you are following for Java backend?
Yeah, so majorly I was following Java, Spring Boot, Kafka, and NoSQL, MongoDB, all the backend. Like I was basically from a front end side. I have done all the internships, everything as a front end developer. So from front end, switching to backend, it was everything was new to me. Java was I have already done in my academics, but Spring Boot, NoSQL, Mongo, everything was new to me. So the company support was too much. Like in when you're working in a well product based company, everyone, managers, tech team support, tech leads, everyone support you a lot in that. So they've given an ample of time for me to learn, to grasp over these languages, they had KTs, everything, so you can go through that, understand the project well versed, debug, and understand the flow of that. So they gave ample of time, and then eventually start giving small little tasks so that we worked on that, and we eventually did excel in that.
Got it. Yeah, that's another important point that, and thanks for bringing it up, that many people feel initially that from the beginning they need to learn Java, Spring Boot, or all these tech stack things, Kafka, NoSQL database, and everything. But the actual truth is that if you know basics of it, right, and if you are, if your fundamentals of programming are clear, like she was mentioning, then your company gives you enough time to ramp up, right? It's not like that you join and from the very first day you were asked to code. Yes, you are asked to code, you will be assigned tasks, but you will still be given a ramp up period. And like Konika was mentioning, that many times companies help you. They provide KTs, which are knowledge transfer sessions. They provide you a lot of documentation, a lot of internal tools are there. I'm sure that must have helped you in your onboarding part as well. And generally, it
Yes.
takes 3 to 4 months for anybody to onboard. Even if I join another new company to understand their tech stack, to ramp up, it will take at least 2 to 3 months minimum. So that's another important point. So I hope that helps other people as well. So Konika, any piece of advice that you have for people who are in their fourth year right now and who are looking to apply off campus?
Yeah, so basically, like the things which I did mistake was I started building up my skills in initially like third year, final year, or around that time, but I missed. And there are ample of opportunities which you can get if even if you are in a second year, third year, and fourth year. See, there is a lot of, you should be very much, first of all, be updated with the trend nowadays. Like Next.js have came, Golang has came, and Node.js is on trend. So do your research properly, be very much with the trend. Do use latest version of, if you are using Java, do latest use version of Java. Be very much with the trend of what is hot in the market. And consistency is really very important. So nowadays, previously, okay, DSA rounds were there was not system design. Nowadays system design has come into picture. So even I have personally given interview rounds, and recently itself, like in that also, if I did good in coding round but not in system design, they are directly rejecting. So it's very important to be good in system design. At the same time, many coders, they did underestimate the system design thing, and they just go with the coding round, and then they feel rejections. And so that is what I will say. Just be consistently, not only focus on your coding, also on your system design thing, and never ever apply directly. Always seek for a referral, send connection request, build up network over LinkedIn. Your connections itself will help you in landing getting you an interview call. So because I have seen personally, there are thousands of people who are applying directly daily, and they are coming and saying, I'm not getting calls and all. So it's better to apply via referral, get a referral, and most importantly, make a ATS friendly resume. So resume also plays a very important role. So ATS friendly resume, again, it is really very important nowadays. Like companies are scanning your resume before getting it shortlisted. So your ATS score of the resume really very matter. A score of 70 or 80 is a good score to get your resume shortlisted over the tech companies. So you can have a good resume. Like in your resume, main thing what a recruiters scan in your resume is your experience. Your projects should be good, well, it should be live, and your technical skills, achievements part, everything in your project which you are mentioning it. So that should be very much clear enough. You should have a deep knowledge in that. So that are all the things which I'll recommend to all.
Got it. And what kind of projects did you do? Because since obviously when you were a fresher, when you applied to Walmart, right? So you did not have much relevant experience apart from internships. What all
Yes.
projects, what all kind of projects did you mention in your resume?
Yeah, so I have mainly worked over Stack projects. So I was always on the trend. I was always being updated with the trend. So that time also Stack. Nowadays also Stack is on trend as always. I mentioned a Stack full-fledged project. Okay, so which has a UI also. It has a backend database, everything integrated. So I mentioned that project, and mentioning not much project. Even if you mention one or two project, that is more than enough, which you have done by your own. It should not be a repo or a clone or a management system kind of project, because recruiters judge very easily. Okay, this is already been made, it is picked up from any resource kind of thing. So even if you are taking a reference, just try to do something different, some just try to add some functionality, different functionality, or try to build something updated. Like nowadays blockchain and everything is really very on trend. So you can make a project over that. Just be updated and do some innovations kind of thing and present it, and your project should be live. You can live it on GitHub or Netlify. And yeah, that is how I did also.
Got it, yeah. It's a really important point. Thanks for bringing it up again. That we should not just do clone projects like clone
Yes,
of this, clone of that. Because earlier, maybe 3 years back, people could do them and still get internships and jobs. But now, since almost everybody is doing it, so it has become worthless essentially.
correct.
So it's a very important point. So Konika, if you have your resume as well with you, maybe not now immediately, but it would be great if you could share your resume as well, and we'll put it up on the along with the video so that people can take a look at kind of resume they can, because you mentioned one important thing that your resume should be ATS friendly. And I see that
Yes.
many people's resumes directly get rejected even though they are talented, right? But their resumes are not ATS friendly. So it's a very important point that you brought up. So if you can share your resume, if it's handy with you, maybe later you can share, and then we'll put it on together along with the video.
Yeah, definitely we can upload. I have to check that.
Sure. Another thing that you mentioned is that in your ATS resume score should be 70 to 80 or at least above 70. So
Yeah.
how do you check ATS score? Like for example, if I prepare my resume, how can I know what is my ATS score?
So there are very much websites over there. I used to check over resumeworded.com.
Hmm.
So there itself, I used to check the ATS score of my resume. So from there itself, like it also suggests what are the key points, like where are you lacking and all. So even nowadays, people are much using ChatGPT, so they can enhance their resume over that also by getting to know where are the points, and you can enhance it accordingly. Like for example, if you're applying for a particular job, from there, from the job description, if you get the requirements and all, and if you can enhance your resume according to, you can make your resume according to that job description, then also your chances of getting hired are more higher than the others. So these are the hacks I used to apply, and to get the score high also for the resume.
Got it. Got it. And has it ever happened with you, like, let's say you reached out to someone on LinkedIn for a referral, but they didn't respond?
Yes, it has happened. Now also it happened. So when I said, that's why I started messaging and mailing more people rather than just waiting for a connection request to get accepted or for a person to get a reply. But one thing I do is, if a person has missed replying, I follow up with the person or with the email which I have sent. So following up is really very important. So if you have messaged the person in the like evening, Friday evening or whatever time, just try to follow up over Mondays or in the morning itself, so that just to remind that person. I used to apply this trick and used to get the referrals and replies. So it is very important to get a follow up also.
Got it. Got it. That's a very important point that you have brought up, and I keep reminding people of that, because many times I've seen, people will message 10, let's say I'm a student and I message 10 people, out of 10, maybe only 3 reply. And then people
Yeah.
get disheartened. They take it personally that these 7 people have not replied, right? But the thing is that these 7 people, either they may not be interested, or they may not have even checked your message, or they may be even not the right person, right? So we should not take it personally. And like Kunika mentioned, that follow up is a very key aspect, because many times it happens that the people that you're talking to, they are busy people. They see your message and they think that, okay, I'll reply to this person after a day when I'm free, and then they forget about it. So it's very really important to follow up with them, to send them a message, a polite message, uh, just remind them. And if they still don't respond, it's fine. There are enough people out there who will respond to you, right? And if your resume is good, if your skill set is good, then definitely you will succeed. So persistence is the key, like she was mentioning. It happens with everybody, that rejection is a part of interviewing, right? Even if you are in from a FANG company and you apply to other companies, you may still get rejected. So you should not take it personally. So that's a very important point. Thanks for bringing it up. Another thing that you mentioned was that you used to email people apart from LinkedIn, right? So from where did you get these emails?
So majorly, like I used to connect with HRs and
Hmm.
employees and all. So, and I used to even frame up the emails also. Like generally, in general, which I have observed, which I have researched, is like anybody's email is like first name dot last name at companyname.com. So I used to just do some trick hacks on that also. And even from employees, I used to get, okay, this I got to know about this person is hiring, can I get a contact email of that person so that I can mail them directly. And even I have got interview calls by mailing them directly, the hiring managers or the HRs. And that really, this really hacks gets me call over interviews, get calls over interviews. So these are the things which I used to do.
Got it. Got it. Understood. That's a very interesting hack,
Yeah.
and it just shows your persistence, that you were ready to try all the tricks just to get that
Yeah.
one opportunity. And I'm sure that it has actually helped you,
Yeah.
it has significantly helped you jumpstart your career. I'm pretty sure if you were in some, let's say, TCS or some other company, we may not be even talking to right now, but because of this Walmart opportunity, you will get more opportunities in the future. Plus
Okay.
it got you the exposure that is so important, right? Exposure at a young age to better technologies, to better people, and to better projects. So as you progress forward in your career, you will definitely, this experience is super helpful.
Yeah.
Right? So, Kunika, any last piece of advice that you would want to give the audience?
Yeah, so I'll say, like, I've seen people getting demotivated and all after not getting calls, or they're demotivating, they get demotivated even, if they are not doing good initially in the DSA and all. So I'll say, like, be consistent, just keep on applying, keep on doing the karma, the deeds, everything, and just believe in yourself, stay positive, be a high thinker, and be confident enough that obviously if you are given a field, if you have chosen a field, definitely you have a good result through that. You will get it definitely a good result through that. So just keep on doing the good things, and just manifest, and definitely you will get that. Believe, and that is like just practice will make you get that. That is all I wanted to say.
That's a wonderful piece of advice. And I would just like to add one important thing that I noticed about Konika, while doing this podcast. So one thing that she mentioned at the beginning, that when she was in Ludhiana in her college, at that point when TCS came to her college for placement, and they were giving 3.25 or 3.35, somewhere around that figure, and many people from our college were ready to take that, right? Because at that point you're desperate for a job, that at least you get a job, right? Some job is better than a no job. But
Yes.
still we should aim high, right? We should not be satisfied that, okay, just because if we have 100 people in our batch, out of those 100 people, 90% people are satisfied with that amount of pay or with that amount of job, right? That doesn't mean that you have to accept that. It- Everybody's capability is different, everybody's persistence level is different, and if you feel that you are better than others, or you can get better than others, you deserve better than others, then you should definitely apply for it. You should take your shot. If you apply to 10 companies, maybe 10 out of 10 companies, 9 will shoot you down, right? Maybe because you're not ready for that. But then prepare well, develop your skill set, and reapply, because each one of us deserves better, right? So we should not let our limiting beliefs, or we should not let our peers decide that what we are supposed to get, right? If you feel that you are deserve 40 LPA, go for that. If you feel that you deserve 20 LPA, go for that. Whatever is your capability, according to that, you should definitely aim to achieve higher, and you should stretch yourself as well. This is really important thing that I would gather from your responses, that you have always been in that mode, that I should achieve better, I should achieve better. That has
Yes.
certainly helped you. That's so. With that, I'll wrap up today's podcast. So thanks a lot, Konika, for joining us, and I'm sure that a lot of people would be seeing this podcast, and they would be inspired by this, and uh, these tips would be useful for them, and I'm sure that they would be thanking you for this thing.
Yeah.
Uh,
Thank you, Pratik. Nice talking. Thank you.
Thanks.